Hey, everybody, how's it going today? This is Philadelphia Phillies franchise on MLB The Show 22. I hope everybody's fine today. You look at our standings, we're in pretty good shape. We're 2.5 games behind the Mets. We're right in striking distance. We have a pretty good schedule coming up where we should do pretty well. So it's like we should be feeling pretty confident about our position and where we're going as a franchise. So I feel very good about it. But that being said, I want you to ignore the date on the screen that it says it's the 22nd, because today is the 20th and we're not doing a game. We're just talking possible trades. Now, I'm not doing any trades today. I just want to discuss the possibility of trades. Now, as you can see here, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 starting pitchers that are 84 and above. Obviously, I am not going to be shopping for a starting pitcher. But I have Kyle Gibson, a 78 overall. He's 34 years old, but he's a trade chip. Why wouldn't I be using him as a trade chip? I mean, he is a free agent after this year. I could ship him off. I mean, it's like contract-wise, he's under arbitration. It's like he will be a free agent, but I can live with getting rid of him. I mean, it's like he's 32. I don't care. Ranger, how are you doing? You're arbitration, so you're stuck. Nola, you will become a free agent, but I see we being able to resign you. I don't think that's going to be an issue. And we got Zach Wheeler tied up for another 2 years, so we're good with him. Bullpen, this is where it gets a little tricky. Brad Hand is not making that much money, and he becomes a free agent after this year. Do we ship him off? He's 32 years old, but he's done a really nice job. I mean, he's 2 and 3, 1 save, 1 blown save, but 7 holds, and he has a 2.62 ERA. He's done a good job for our club. Reyes we picked up earlier this year. I mean, he has a 1.69 ERA, and he basically, he'll be here with us no matter what. He's having arbitration during the off season, so he will be with us no matter what. Coonrod, I believe he's stuck with us. Dominguez, I think, is stuck, yep. And Alvarado, I believe, stuck, yep. And Sanchez does not belong in the major leagues right now. He just doesn't, and he has a renewable contract. But right now, he does not belong up here. We need some more relief pitchers. I'm thinking about calling Cam Bedrosian up and sending Sanchez down. That actually sort of makes more sense. Let's do that now. We're going to move you to AAA. Cam, we're going to move you to MLB. Add you to 40-man roster. We have a full 40-man roster. Okay, so we're going to have to take somebody off of a 40-man roster, which is kind of tricky. Nelson, he's playing in Double-A, and he has a 5.01 ERA. That's fine. You're basically being removed from the 40-man roster. So that's fine. And then we're going to look at the roster, and we're going to look at closing pitchers. We're going to add you to the 40-man roster, and then we are going to move you to the MLB. So that's fine. I probably, yeah, I'm gonna just move you to AAA, and let's see, and I'll move one of these guys down to AA. So you're gonna go down to AA. So, but anyway, so okay, now we're a little bit better shape with our pitching. But I'll reorganize the actual pitching later on. Because Knable's going to be our actual closer. Bedrosian's just a backup, and we'll see how he does. Real Muto's, obviously, let's see, we got him through 2025, so we're in good shape with him. Unfortunately, his ratings are going down a little bit, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I mean, he's at that age. And we got Stubbs. He's pretty much locked up until 2026. And he's on the upward trend. So that's looking good. So it's like going in the future, we might have to split their time a little bit, which is perfectly fine. We got Hoskins. Hoskins is an arbitration player for next year. I'd like to see us be able to lock him up to a long-term deal later this year when that becomes unlocked. I mean, that's the weird part. We can't even talk to our players right now. It's like they're basically locked up. We can't do any kind of re-signing or anything. So that's kind of like funky, but it is what it is. It's like we have other players that can play first if he gets injured. So we have stuff back up that is covered. Fletcher, he's a solid player. We got him locked up through 2025. This was a definite solid trade that we made, and he's done really well with the Phillies, and I'm like really happy. I don't care that he doesn't hit home runs because he gets on base and he scores runs. David Bodie, he's locked up for another couple years as well. Somehow still on an upward trend, but he can play all these different positions, which is what I like about him. He has all that flexibility, and if you have so much flexibility that I can throw you in all these different spots, you're a valuable asset to me, especially when you actually have a good bat and you can play well. So that's what I care about. Third baseman. Now here's the thing, Alec Bohm, he's on the disabled list. He's locked up through 2026 at least, so he won't be going anywhere anytime soon. But Candelario can only play first base and third base. So after Bohm comes back, I'm not going to need him anymore. Now, Bohm is going to come back sooner rather than later, so Candelario also could be a huge trade chip because I only got him because of Bohm being injured. So definitely a possibility of doing that. But like I said, it's a matter of what we're going to get. Shortstop, I like Bryson Stott a lot, and despite like all the colorings on his batting, he's hitting .232, which isn't horrendous. I'd like to see a little bit better, but I think he's doing fine. I've done perfectly fine, and he has their versatility to play any spot on the infield, which I like. We also have Munoz that we called up. Munoz can play all these different positions and has a little bit better at bat. So he's going to be valuable. Can Munoz play third? Yeah. So if we can have Munoz, I can throw him at third. I can throw Stott at third. And guess what? We'd be perfectly fine without Candelario. Left fielders, we're solid with left field. I mean, really, it's like we got Castellanos, we have Schwarber, we have Vierling, but Vierling's pretty much our center fielder. But I can't use him as center field because he's hitting in the 165. That's not good enough. But you know, we have you locked up long term, and your stats are going up. So I feel good about you, Schwarber. Your things are not going up or down, but you're hitting 271, which is solid. With 41 home runs, it's even better. And you're only making $19 million a year, which is really solid. And you can play first base. You can actually play center field. I didn't know that you could play center field as well as right field. I don't think I would ever play you at center field. I mean, because honestly, I mean, do you have that kind of speed? Because it's like, I don't think you do. And your fielding's a 57, and your arm is a 69, and you only have a 46 speed? No. I would never put you in center field. It's like, I mean, could you play there? Yes. But would I play you there? No. And Castellanos is like, he's really on his way down for some reason. He's only hitting 226 for us. If I had more players, I would basically put him like the only faces right left-handed pitching. But I don't have that kind of versatility, and we have him signed up into 2026. So I don't know. We gotta get him better. But I think his stats have been going upward, so that it will be what it is. So we got Grichuk, and it was also a nice little trade chip and pickup. If we could trade him along with somebody else and get a better center fielder, that is what we want to do. I would really love it to have a top center fielder. Now, the greatest part about him is he's locked up through next year. So if we don't trade for him, or we just wind up trading some minor league talent and keep him, he's a great backup plan. So I'm fine with that. Right fielders, obviously we know that we have Harper until 2031. So we are locked up there with him for a long, long time. He's still on a even trend. He's a 95 overall. So yeah, stat-wise, he's at 36 home runs and 262. We're doing great with him. I'm perfectly happy with him. So it's like really cool. And so yeah. Now let's look at some other teams and see what center fielders they have that we could pillage. So Washington, no, I'm not trading anybody in Washington. Don't have any interest in them. For the Cubs, nope. I just don't see anybody there that I really want. The Reds, if I was doing a long-term thing, Jay Allen is intriguing. He's 19 years old, a B potential. I mean, we'd have to work on his hitting a lot. I mean, there is like a lot of potential there. I mean, he doesn't have any power whatsoever, and his contact needs work. But you put him in the batting cages full time, and that's what you're working on with him. He definitely has potential. And Almora is definitely, he's major league ready in my opinion. And he has better, in my opinion, he's better than, I guess Senzel has better speed, so that's why they probably went with him. Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting thing with the Reds. But Jay Allen is going to be moving up. I mean, his rating will go up, and as soon as his rating goes up, they'll probably make some moves, or they may make a trade and actually do it like right away. So it's hard to say. We'll see what happens. But that's the Reds. Kane is 35 years old. I mean, yeah, he's really great and solid stats. Not incredibly great stats, but solid. I really don't see myself making a trade for him. Pittsburgh, they have absolutely nobody that I have interest in. Just absolutely nobody. St. Louis, they have like one of the same problems as we have with some injury thing, but I mean, Bader is injured, but look at that. Reaction 99, speed 92, he has decent power numbers. I mean, how long is he injured for? I mean, shoulder tear, 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. I mean, he has some credible numbers. Let's see. Arizona. Again, there's nothing great there. The Rockies, they have Benny Montgomery. He's 19 years old. He's in the majors, but he hasn't got a hit yet. I mean, how many opportunities has he had? He has had 0. So he hasn't had a chance yet. But he'd be a great pinch runner. I mean, with that speed and such. But he really they need to work on his. He just need time. I mean, but he's like not somebody I want to have when I'm going to be making a pennant run. So, the Dodgers. Now, I could see the Dodgers not wanting to trade Cody Bellinger. I mean, they might want to trade Altman or Pilar, but I mean, I have Grichuk. I really don't need them. San Diego. Again, why would San Diego? What is? I think they're like actually far down in the standings. But I mean, isn't Grisham? Yeah, Grisham is locked in their organization until 2025. There's like 0 reason that they would want to trade him, so that wouldn't make any sense on their side. I mean, he's definitely a top center fielder. I mean, the only argument you can make is making a trade and trying to get Wood, and basically putting Wood into our organization as a solid center fielder that has potential. I could see doing that. I mean, his AAA stats, he's hitting 269. He's a solid player. He just needs more hitting. Huh. And he's from Maryland, so he'd actually probably like coming here. I actually might make a trade for James Wood. Just because. So that's definitely a thought. San Francisco, they have a couple solid center fielders, but nobody that's tremendous. Baltimore. Baltimore has Cedric Mullins, and look at him. He is really, really good. I mean, the power stats, the contact, base stealing, the speed. This is a solid center fielder. The only question is, could we get him? He's locked in with them till 2025. Could we get Cedric Mullins? I'm telling you, this is a guy that I'm thinking I want. He is like really talented. Wow, that's tough. I mean, I wouldn't mind trading for him. Boston has Brian Reynolds, who we stole from Pittsburgh earlier in the year, and then we flipped him. So he's there. I really didn't care for Brian Reynolds that much. He has the power and stuff against right-hander, but not against lefties, and it was just stuff and everything that wasn't really going that great for him. So I really didn't care for him, but he's a solid player, and they also have a solid backup in Slater. The Yankees, their top guy is Jason Dominguez. He's 19 years old. Wow. It's like, I'm surprised he's not in the majors. They instead have been playing in Carte, which he's a 71 overall, but I guess being 31, they need to bring him up. But for some reason, they have Florial. They have him in the majors as 65, but they don't have their top prospect 73 overall. I guess because he's 19. I guess because he can't hit. Look at his hitting things and stuff. I guess it kind of makes sense. They need to work him in. But all the other numbers are incredible, and he's close to major league ready. Just needs to be able to hit. So as soon as he gets his hitting down and boost those hitting numbers up a little bit, he will most doubtedly be a threat for years and years to come for the Yankees organization. No doubts about that. Rays have Kermander. Kermander's a solid center fielder. Yeah, I wouldn't want Brent Phillips, and I really don't care for Kermander that much. George Springer, he's a beast. Yeah, he's definitely a beast. Holy crap. Luis Robert? Oh my. I mean, he's a 90 overall. Wait a second, so are the White Sox relevant? I need to know if the White Sox are relevant here. They're leading their division. And Baltimore is at the bottom of the division, so let's see, the Rays, third place. Just trying to gauge where some of these teams are to make a trade. Interesting. Yeah, as much as I'd want to make a trade, they're in a pennant race. They're never gonna do it. Yeah, I never liked that they actually traded Hazley away. I liked Hazley, but he doesn't have the speed to be a everyday center fielder. That's probably why we traded him. Cleveland's got Miles Straw. I mean, he's a decent center fielder, but not somebody I actually want. Detroit has Reyes. And Riley Green is a nice 21-year-old prospect. Doesn't have the speed, but has the bat and skills for it. Derek Hill's a beast in speed, but you have to figure out a way to get him on base. Kansas City, not really. Well, here's the Beast. He had a home run last night. I mean, look at those numbers. He has a 53 vision, but it's like, and he's really, against right-handed hitters, his contact's not great. But man, everything else about him, and you put him in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park, he'd be a beast. Yeah, I don't see Minnesota wanting to trade him though. But he's only hitting .217, and I think that's because of his vision and his contact versus righties. I mean, it's got to be that. Yeah, he signed up through 2028, so they're not doing any more with him. Houston. He has a broken ankle. He's gone for another couple months. I mean, Houston could use a center fielder. I mean, right now they're going with Jake Myers. They're not in the greatest shape for it. Well, there's the Mr. Beast himself. What contract? Yeah, he's filled up and everything through 2030. Would I like to have Trout on the Phillies? Of course I do. I wouldn't. It's like I'd be an idiot to say otherwise. And the question is that salary would just be a killer. That would just really, really hurt our whole organization. Especially when we got to re-sign some other people and such. So it just doesn't make financial sense to trade for somebody like Trout. Even though this year he would lock in our championship. I mean, I have no doubts about that. We would win hands down with him in our lineup. The Ace. This is a good option. This is actually a solid option. Okay, so yeah, I actually would want to look at him. It's 53, contact 45 versus right-handed pitchers. That's a killer. And as you can see, his .091 average, but he's only had 33 at-bats. So it's not like anybody else is knocking the ball out for them. But it's definitely interesting. Here's Marte. Look at those contact numbers. Man, has power versus lefties. Yeah. He's not a bad option. He's a free agent after the year's over, so they might be willing to trade him, which would be interesting. I mean, that's actually not a bad idea because A, he's cheap for the rest of this year. He has really solid numbers and stuff statistically that he would actually help us. So, yeah, I think Seattle right now is the leader on who I'm going to trade with. Obviously not Atlanta. But, man, it's like you have him, he's locked up through 2026. It's just, that's going to hurt the Phillies for a long time to come. It's just 99 overall, and he's only 24. And it's just, those numbers are just killer. Wow. That just that just hurts. And Miami, I mean, it's like they have Roman Quinn and everything, and Roman Quinn's not all that, but he's better than all the other center fielders that we have in our organization right now. And Mets have Sterling Marte. And he's only hitting .219 for them. And Varsho's hitting .243. It's not too bad. And here's the Phillies. We only, like I said, we only have 70. These are 73 overall. Let's get in some trade talks. Let's see what we can find here. We have it. Yeah, you can see our budget is $26.9 million that's left over. See, they have actually plenty of budget. So that's kind of interesting. But if I wanted to try to get Marte, and you can see that they're seeking a starting pitcher, a third baseman, and shortstop. Now, the first thing I'm thinking of, if I'm like thinking getting rid of the starting pitcher, I'd want to get rid of Gibson, which takes away all of the line, which is great. I mean, this is really good news. It basically takes that away. Now, if I can do, I think we'd be giving away the farm if we just traded him. I mean, of course they were interested in making that deal because they would be making out with a steal. I don't want to do that deal. It's giving away too much on our side. Can I get rid of him? Him. Oh, okay. He's a 21-year-old B prospect. That's a very interesting thing. I mean, So we trade Gibson and Garcia, and we get, yeah. I mean, I can't see of not doing this deal. I mean, like I said, he's 28 years old. He's been a beast. He basically, we have to re-sign him during this year, but he plays left field, center field, shortstop, and second base. And it just makes sense. And I'm not even trading away our center fielder. So, yeah, I'm just, we're going to offer this trade and make it happen. Boom. So we have a new center fielder. Now the question is, I don't want to do anything with shortstop, and you can see we actually are making money on this deal. Our budget has gone slightly up. So you can see center fielder, we're in good shape. I mean, I probably honestly will keep Grichuk. I mean, let's look at everybody here real quick. So now we have 5 solid starters. I mean, we even have Falter in AAA as a backup, just in case somebody falls and gets injured, which generally is bound to happen. So I'm actually kind of thinking maybe we just trade for another starter, but not a I don't know. But I wouldn't mind having another relief pitcher piece. So it wouldn't be bad, but like I said, we have Bedrosian, but I wouldn't mind seeing if we could trade Bedrosian if somebody would want him. So it's okay. The Rangers, they're looking for a closer. Let's see what pieces they have that actually could interest me. Okay, they have a young prospect as a starting pitcher that's a 73 overall. Let's take a look at his stats. He's actually played in the majors, had a 5.06 ERA. I mean, obviously, I'd basically have him in AAA. He wouldn't be coming up here, but okay, they want somebody other with Bedrosian as well. And for this circumstance, let's see. I'd give Bedrosian for later. And they would do the deal with Candelaria attached to it. Unfortunately, that would be signing too. That would be giving them too much. How about Camargo? Would you do it for Camargo? No. I wouldn't mind getting rid of Camargo in some deal. Yeah, they're looking for more major league talent. You know, it's like my salary would go up, but my problem is I don't have the pieces in the minor leagues to actually help that. Especially on a relief. Do you have a relief pitcher that I could take and put on my majors right now? Like if you threw in King and I gave you them? Come on. Because if you gave me King, he's a solid relief pitcher piece. I don't mind getting, maybe if I threw Camargo with him? No. You don't want my crap? Okay, how about if I threw... No. Okay. How about if I threw Brad Hand in the deal? But I'm going to take away the third baseman. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, but if I... Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a hard deal. I mean, of course they're going to want to do that, but it's... Yeah, it's definitely a toughie. Okay, Okay, the White Sox are looking for a third baseman. Who do they have at third right now? Kata? He's not a bad third baseman. I don't know why they're looking for a third baseman. Would you be willing to give me wow. Well, Kimbrel's on a 1-year deal. It's worth $16 million. I mean, obviously, his rating actually isn't that bad. But he would be automatically my best relief pitcher. If I traded you my third baseman for him, they're definitely interested in making the deal. I mean, I would, yeah, it's a very interesting thing. Now, if I try to get a second one, and they're looking for nobody wants Camargo. Wow, even Bodie wouldn't do it. I was thinking for sure that Bodie would do it, but yeah. Wow, they would do Bummer. Okay, they would do Bummer for Bodie and Candelario, but I really don't want to get rid of Bodie. Would you do Flores? Camargo? Ooh! We finally got us. The White Sox would be willing to get a trade for Candelario and Camargo for Kimbrel and Bummer. I gotta pull the trigger on this. I definitely gotta pull the trigger on this. My bullpen is now solid. Now, it's like I have to deal with stuff injury-wise until Bohm comes back, but it just makes sense. That just makes sense. Done. Okay, so we're really resparking and retooling this whole entire team. I mean, unless we can like somehow, can we find a partner that has such an incredible third baseman? Okay, there's no way I'm getting Ramirez. That's a pipe dream. Wow. Can we get, like, what would it take to get Mondesi on our team? Okay. Kimbrel, he's a righty, and he's a lefty. That's perfect. So I could trade Brad Hand without, because I'm never a big fan because Brad Hand doesn't have that many pitches. He's pretty much like Bummer. He only has 3 pitches. You can see him. He only has 3 pitches. He has a slider, fastball, and sinker. But at least Bummer has a sinker, slider, and cutter. I like those pitches a lot better. Not extremely powerful except for the sinker, which is good. And Kimbrel is like knockout fastball, knockout two-seamer, and a great knuckle curveball. So he's going to be like really good for us. But Brad Hand is expendable. We'd save a little bit on their salary. And Mondesi is a solid third baseman, which he's on his end as he's arbitration eligible for next year. So I think it's a good move. And if we wanted to, we could have him play shortstop or second base if there's an injury somewhere else and Bohm comes up. So this actually protects us in so many ways. So yeah, this just makes sense. So let's trade Falter and Hand for Mondesi. Done deal. Okay, now we have one problem. I don't have a number 6 starter. You can see I got my 5 starters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's like you can see the great drop off here. I really, really need a solid 6 starter. Again, they only need to be in the 70s. They don't need to be great. I mean, 25 years old is like perfect age, but I'd probably like a little younger. Wow, he's playing in Kansas City and it's a 3.81 ERA. We're not getting him. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, he's definitely a perfect minor league guy. What do you want for him? Yeah, you wouldn't mind having him, which is not shocking. I mean, very strong minor league guy for a strong minor league guy. Okay. Let me see if I can give you Conley. No. Yeah, they would want more than Bodie, so. That's really close. I hate the deals that we're not interested in doing it at the moment. Okay. Okay, they'd be interested in doing the deal where I'd send Phillips and Conley for Balsovic. That just makes sense. It gives me a 6 starter that I can pull up to the majors when I need to. So we're going to do this deal as well. Okay, so let's take a look at our roster. Twins agreed, Royals agreed, and the White Sox have agreed, and the Mariners have agreed. That's all fine and good, but now we have 28 men on the active roster. We have to move a couple down, which is perfectly fine. Balsovic, sorry, dude, you're going to AAA. Let's see. So we now have 5 MLB players here. Relief pitchers were pretty stacked there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good there. Oh, we still have Bedrock. I thought we were trading Bedrosian. Apparently not. Okay, so yeah. Do I have to send yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. It just makes sense to have him in the minors. Yeah. Sorry, dude. You're going back down. Okay. So, yeah, now we have 26 on our active roster. So we're actually good with our roster. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of doing lineups and such. Now, yeah, it's like the big spot we switched up was third base, which I can't believe we got a position upgrade at third base. That was one thing I was not looking at doing, but the fact that I did it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Our lineup is incredible right now. Yeah, I'm like totally stoked to have Mondesi at third base. That is absolutely insane. Also, I got also the upgraded center field. I mean, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? I have Marte and Mondesi on our system right now. That's just insane. And yeah, we go again with center field. Oh. Who's playing third? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a no DH lineup. It really doesn't matter at all. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because, I mean, Stott hasn't been doing bad against left-handers, but it just makes more sense to take advantage of Munoz, because you can just look at his hitting numbers. It just makes sense to use him against left-handers. I mean, why wouldn't I use him? He's part of our roster, and I need to get him more at-bats. So we got Schwarber, Hoskins, Harper, Castellanos, Real Muto, Mondesi, and then I can get Marte up here. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Man, this is like I have Marte, and he has to be... Okay, this is what we'll do. Let's move Marte up to the 2-hole. Because number one, Marte would be solid. Because it's like if we face a right-hander, he'd be left-handed, and yeah, it would be killer. Yeah, it just makes sense up there. So let's do that in both situations. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, when Fletcher at the bottom, so we have a left, right, left at the top of the top of the order. So it keeps that consistent. And Hoskins is protecting Real Muto, which makes sense. And Mondesi is protecting Hoskins, and yeah, it just makes sense. Yeah, I have to do the same exact thing here. Yeah, that just makes sense. And then we're solid. And let's look at our pitching rotation. You can see it really doesn't change anything on our pitching rotation. Everything stays the same. Obviously, Kimbrel is a setup guy. Even Bummer is a setup guy. Reyes, you're a middle relief guy. I need to have somebody be long relief, but I don't have anybody that could be long relief. So I'm going to just leave those open. So if I have to go early, we'll just basically pull it out of this. These don't really mean anything unless you actually have a sim or anything. We don't do sims, so we're fine with this as it stands. So yeah. So we have a solid starting lineup. We have a solid pitching rotation. So, I mean, yeah, it's like the fact that we have an 80, 81, and 83. So no matter what happens in those last 3 innings, we're solid. I mean, we have all the starting pitchers, 84 and above for starters, and we have 3 guys in our bullpen that are 80 plus. We should be dangerous. Without a doubt, we should be dangerous. It's just a matter of executing and moving forward. Defensively, we're still ranked 18th overall. But for contact, power, and pitching and speed, there's nobody can beat us. I feel really confident, and going into the second half of the season, our team should be the best. So there'll be no episode tomorrow. The game plan for tomorrow is doing a football episode. And then diving right back into MLB The Show for Friday. So, until next time, this is David B69. I'm out. Is there any trades that you could see us doing? I can't imagine that you could see us doing for any other spot. I mean, I feel... you can see this. It says our shortstop is like really weak, but I'm perfectly happy with our shortstop. I'm perfectly happy with our third base now. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with second base. I I mean, I don't want to change anymore, but it's like, if I could, would I make a change at shortstop? I mean, I'd have to be blown away to want to make that deal. I mean, I don't think it's realistic to actually, like, push and basically just dominate just to dominate, because, number one, I'd be destroying our entire minor league system to do so. But in order to win a championship, would I do it? Kind of want to, but I don't. I really just am not really wanting to do it right now. So we're just going to keep the shortstops as they are. Let's look at that real quick. I mean, like I said, Stott and Munoz. I mean, Munoz is a little older. I love Stott. And it's like, but it's like, would I mean, you can see he's on the upward trend. Munoz is also on the upward trend. So it just makes sense. I mean, would I mean, the only thing is, would I trade him? It's like, would I make any trade? The only question is, if I made a trade, who would I trade with? Because I would have to trade somebody that would be solid and would help us long term help us win the championship. Because whoever we grab, he needs to be a piece that we win the championship with. Oh, see, it's like Polanco is definitely a guy that I would hunt after. Oh man, now I'm thinking I want to take Polanco. I thought I was done. Wow, I don't know. Should I trade for Polanco? This is killing me. Would I trade for Polanco? Contract-wise, he's locked up for 2 years. He's the perfect pickup. He's a switch hitter, which gives us control of both sides of the plate. He can play second or third. I mean, could we get him? I traded Munoz. Huh. Okay, but I don't want to get rid of Andrew Painter. Blaine Enlow, 23-year-old. Interesting. interesting. You know, I'm fine with getting rid of him. Munoz and Enlow, which would not be touching or coming close to the majors anytime soon for Polanco. You know, I hate to say it, but I'm going to do the deal. Because I want to win the championship. And sometimes you have to give away crap to win the title. And you can see right there, we went right to 11th place. And, I mean, that is a solid spot to be. You are going to have a very, very sad... You're going to have a sad start because, yeah, you're not starting anymore at any time. Now, it's like if he gets tired, I'll have Stott and everything right there. So it's like that, and it's like in Mondesi, and that's the advantage of having some of these guys that can play so many different positions. We'll definitely be good shape. We definitely want to have Polanco down here, so we have a little bit more flexibility with batting order. Again, doing that same thing. Man, it's like that lineup. I mean, have you ever seen anything more sick than that lineup? It's like all 80s in that lineup. We have a lineup that is all in the 80s. We have a starting pitching staff completely in the 80s and above. And our top three pitchers in the bullpen are all in the 80s and above. So we are solid. We are ready for the second half of the season. And we are definitely done now. So let's go. We don't have anything else going on today. And we will be back on Friday for Phillies against the Cubs. I hope you're sticking with us. I hope you're ready for us to make a killer run for the championship. Until next time, this is David B69. I'm out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.